The stage is set for an epic showdown between WBO super welterweight champion Tim Tszyu and American boxing sensation Keith Thurman. The legendary T-Mobile Arena is poised to witness this heroic clash, marking the first time an Australian-born fighter headlines a PPV boxing match in the glitz and glamour of Las Vegas. As the lights dim, join us for an exclusive preview as we break down the details as Tszyu tries to etch his name in boxing history, facing his toughest test yet, while Thurman tries to hurt Tszyu's pride. Tim, the guy from the legendary Tszyu boxing family, has been on a rocket ride in Aussie boxing. Now, he's stepping into the ring against Thurman, not a test of skills, but a massive moment for Aussie boxing on the world map. Tim's career so far is a pep talk for every budding boxer out there, and a big shout out to Australia. At a bang at the first press conference, Thurman, being all flamboyant, stole the show with his sledges and threats. He's talking real big. I want great fights and great action. And Tim's filling that void right now, he says. He's young, trying to open up the gates to his new era. But it's my job to shut that door right in his face. I want him going back to his dad in Australia saying, "Sorry pops, I messed up. I didn't know he was that bad." But Tszyu doesn't back down. He's quick to remind Thurman that his era is in the rearview mirror, boldly predicting a shift from Thurman to himself. "I know what he's done, but his time has come. This is a different era. This is the Tim Tszyu era." Beyond the fierce press conference exchanges, Tszyu is a rising star aiming to climb even higher by taking on his most high-profile opponent yet. At 29, Tszyu boasts an impressive record of 24-0 with 17 KOs. His stellar 2023 campaign saw him rise to world champion status at 154 pounds, defeating the likes of former world champion Tony Harrison, top contender Brian Mendoza, and former title champion Carlos Ocampo. Hailing from Sydney, Australia, Tszyu made his US debut in March 2022 against US Olympian Terrell Gausha, securing a unanimous decision. Following in the legendary footsteps of his father Kostya, an undisputed 140-pound champion, Tszyu is set to make his mark stateside, pursuing the biggest fights, with Thurman standing as his most formidable challenge yet. For Thurman, hailing from Florida, this guy earned his one-time moniker not only by talking the talk as he did at the Wild press conference, but by delivering knockout punches that make highlight reels. His resume is a masterpiece among top welterweights, taking down former champs like Sean Porter, Danny Garcia, and Robert Guerrero. The only hiccup is a nail-biter against boxing legend Manny Pacquiao in 2019, where Thurman ended up on the wrong side of a split decision, earning Fight of the Year honors. Bounced back from that to take down the highly ranked welterweight Mario Barrios in February 2022 with a unanimous decision. Thurman has been seriously low-key in the ring. That win over Mario Barrios is the only action he's seen in the past 4.5 years. He's ending a 25-month break to take on Tszyu, who's ESPN's #2 boxer at 154 pounds. Given that Thurman has only stepped in the ring twice in the past 4.5 years, it's a tough call to see him causing so much trouble for Tszyu. His last bout was in February 2022, and before that, he hadn't fought since July 2019 when he went toe-to-toe with Manny Pacquiao and took a split decision loss. While Thurman has been on a serious break, Tszyu has been quite the opposite, stepping into the ring 10 times during that same period. There's no substitute for actual fighting. Sparring doesn't quite cut it, and ring rust is a real challenge. It could be a doubt for some that Thurman has what it takes to pull off the upset against a more active Tszyu. Look at Deontay Wilder, Errol Spence, and Stephen Fulton. They seemed a bit off after prolonged breaks. Thurman's inactivity is a significant hurdle to clear, especially against Tszyu, who seems to be hitting his stride. Tszyu isn't one to take lightly. He's a dangerous puncher with solid defense, and he loves to press forward strategically. His guard is always up, and he moves his head smartly as he goes after his prey. This is so serious that Tszyu opened up as a -800 favorite, and it's already moved up to a -1000 according to ESPN Bet. Of course, it reflects Tszyu's undeniable talent, but it also takes Thurman's inactivity into account. What it might not fully capture is Thurman's boxing skill. When Thurman is at his peak, he's an elite fighter who can take down almost anyone. He held his ground against Pacquiao, even if Manny was on the tail end of his prime. Thurman boasts solid victories over Danny Garcia and Sean Porter. The challenge here lies in proving that he can maintain that elite status at a different weight and after another extended break from the ring. Again, Tszyu is like a piston, driving forward without a break. He throws combos like showers, not giving opponents a chance to catch their breath. Behind a high guard, he turns into a human shield, takes hits, dishes them back. Those punches are not only pressure, they're calculated strokes. His right hook is a work of art, 17 KOs worth. Plus, Tszyu is living proof that he can take a punch. Dropped, wobbled, but never beaten. His chin is a fortress, lets him walk through fire and come out swinging. This fight could stretch to 12 rounds, and Tszyu won't even blink. His engine is a wonder, pumping out aggression no matter the pace. Tszyu's got this relentless style that's just something else. Thurman supporters argue that although Tszyu remains relentless and undefeated, his record is mostly stacked with regional opponents. The big question is whether he can translate his dominance against lesser fighters onto the world stage. For one, Tszyu's footwork can be flat-footed, making him likely to counter when he lunges forward predictably. A savvy counterpuncher like Thurman might just exploit this vulnerability. Then there's the question of Tszyu adjusting his tactics on the fly. Can he switch gears if Thurman throws curveballs? Or will he stick to his pressure cooker approach? The fight might just reveal that. If Tszyu can maintain his relentless pressure without falling victim to counters, he might overwhelm Thurman like a hurricane, pushing him into brawls where Tszyu's power shines. It could turn into grinding down, wearing Thurman down, and making Tszyu's chin and stamina his biggest allies. Sure, Thurman's counters might land initially, but Tszyu's high guard and granite chin could take off some of the sting. If he uses that shield effectively, closing the distance becomes possible, allowing him to land his heavy punches. Tszyu's youthful agility and superior stamina could play a decisive role in the later rounds, potentially tipping the scales in his favor if the fight goes the distance. It's a bit like how Tszyu dismantled Spark. Relentless pressure, powerful punches, and a fight ending in just 5 rounds. But if we switch gears to Keith Thurman, this guy's been through the trenches, worn the belts, and knows the ropes. Thurman's wealth of experience against top-tier competition is a massive arsenal for him. He's seen it almost all, every style, every trick, and knows how to move through the unpredictable square ring. Like a ballerina, light on the feet, gracefully dancing around his opponent. This technique could allow him to control the distance, slip away from punches, and create angles for his counters. A perfect blend of beauty and danger. Moreover, while Tszyu brings the heat, Thurman could paint with counters. Also, Thurman possesses a fighting IQ as a seasoned chess player. He can adapt his tactics mid-fight. Can Tszyu take all that? Well, wait and find out. But what we know is, this fight for Tszyu is a stamp of legitimacy to prove he can handle a seasoned elite like Thurman on the world stage, to solidify his claim to the top ranks. Plus, he's eyeing a future with Terence Crawford. A win against Thurman could be Tszyu's ticket to that matchup. On the flip side for Thurman, it's a chance to reassert his dominance. Showcasing that experience and skill can trump youthful inexperience. There might not be a belt at stake, but hurting Tszyu's pride is enough for Thurman. That said, what's your vibe on this matchup? Can Tszyu, the fresh face, really go toe-to-toe with Thurman? Or do you think Thurman's gearing up for a comeback after his time away? Share your thoughts in the comments, I'm curious. Thanks a bunch for hanging with us. If you dug this exclusive preview, toss us a like and hit that subscribe for more epic stuff. Until our next video, best of luck out there.